So welcome, this is Universe Take the Wheel, and today's video is going to be about the next year. It's going to be 2020 vision, 2020 everything. So let's hope 2020 is going to be the year that everything falls into place. That's what I'm hoping for. And so I've picked out 4 piles. Actually, there were going to be 3 piles at first. And then one pile decided that there has to be one more. So there's 4 piles. And so I'd like you to take a breath, a very deep breath, and decide which, pile you want. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, and this is pile number 4. So take your time and meditate. Decide which pile you're being, attracted to or drawn to. So if you select that, select one pile, and if anything resonates, let me know in the comments, because that'll really help me out and I really appreciate it. Okay, thank you. So let's start with group number 1. Okay, for those of you who selected group number 1, so this is how the reading is going to turn out. I have tarot cards for each month. This one is a message. So this is like an overall message that you need for 2020. And then these are like a few themes or messages that you need to know about 2020. So let's begin. We'll go with this later on. So let's start with the tarot. Hello, pile number 1. So this is your 2020 reading, and welcome if you've selected this group. This reading is for you. So when I see this, I feel like this is like these 4 months are like hangover months from 2019. It's where you take back and you deal with 2019. You deal with, how you write, like instead of writing 2019, you'll keep writing, instead of writing 2020, you're going to keep writing 2019 for like the first 4 months. So this is sort of that, but in your life, so I think the first part, when I see this, I feel like you think you've gotten away with doing something, like something, because it's in reverse. You think you've tricked people, or you've tricked yourself into not dealing with certain things, or maybe you've dealt with certain things a certain way and you think it's all gone by, but I feel like it's not. You've not tricked anyone, and if it's yourself, you especially not tricked yourself. Okay, so in January, look out for that. Look out for something coming to bite you in the ass, maybe a little bit, I don't know. So if there's something to be resolved for 2019, I think January is going to be the time where you're going to sit down and resolve that. Maybe you're going to start exercising. If 2019 you've been like, I'll do it, and I've been doing it, but you've not really been eating healthy or exercising or any of that, maybe in January you'll take a step back and realize, okay, I need to do it. And then in February, I see 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. I feel like in February you're going to come together with certain like-minded people to start a project. And in this, I do see it being something in relation to work. But it could also mean that you're starting a new sports team. Maybe you're starting a new band. Maybe it's something like that. And so in February, it's about collaboration. So maybe you're doing a project with somebody else. Maybe you do YouTube, so you're like collaborating with somebody else who does similar things. But it's like-minded people coming together. So look around for that. Some people might be coming around who are very similar to you and wanting to work with you. And it's gonna be a good thing. And I think what I see is again a theme that's coming in from 2019, and it's this that you've not dealt with is going to come and bite you in the ass over here. You're going to take the L. And you've not taken the L yet, but I think in March, you're really looking back and you're contemplating and you're seeing if what you've done is correct, or do you like it or do you not like it. You're looking at everything you've created and taking a step back and evaluating it. So March is going to be that time. So be aware of, it's going to be an overwhelming month, I feel. And then come April, it's going to be, see, there are two sides to it. It's going to be an ending of a very traumatic cycle. So if you've been going through a bad time in 2019, just remember that that's going to be the last blow for you. April is going to be it. And for those people who are, if there's something you have to deal with, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job situation or any of that, I think April is going to be the time of resolution, and you're going to deal with it. It's going to be that, and you're going to end it there. And January, February, March, April, May. Okay, this is May. In May, however, I think whatever this collaboration is, or even anything that you've done in 2019 or something that you've been manifesting, is going to pay off, because this is sitting in front of King of Swords. It's preceded by a kind of an ending of a cycle, and then preceded by the head of this, swords energy. So I think it's a very good sign. Something very good will happen in May for you. Watch out. Keep your thoughts very positive, because the Wheel of Fortune is something that'll give you exactly what you want. I mean, you can end up with the angels, or you can end up with the devil right here. So make sure you think of good and positive things, and then you'll be directed in that direction. So I think these months and what your decisions are will really decide what May has in store for you. But I think you'll deal with them. And it's going to be a good month, financially and even emotionally. And then in June, what I see is, for all the people who are looking for love, they are probably going to find, you're going to meet somebody who you're going to feel like you're a little swept away by them. And it's going to be a beginning of a new start of something new, like that song. It's the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you're gonna feel that, and it's gonna be something like. And if it's not like romantic, I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be an authoritative figure that's gonna walk into your life, and it's gonna play a big part. And if it's if you're starting something here, it might be somebody who's gonna financially support you, somebody who is going to push you forward in case if you're starting a band or something. Some manager who's got a good grasp on things is gonna follow, who's gonna catch hold of you and help you out. So June is gonna be a good time, and look out for people who you might run into and who might be very helpful, or maybe potential love interest. It could be male, female, that doesn't matter, but somebody with a King of Swords energy is gonna walk into your life. And in July, you're gonna feel like it's the best time ever. It's gonna be the world. It's gonna feel like, everything that you've dealt with is all worth it, because it's happening for a reason. And you're gonna look back at things. It's gonna be a contemplative state, but it's gonna be a celebration. I don't know what you're celebrating. Maybe this is, maybe you do get picked up for something. Maybe whatever team you formed is getting, maybe you started a startup there, and now somebody is paying for it, and somebody is financing it for you, and you feel like you're on the top of the world. Or maybe if this is a love interest, you feel like you found everything in that person. Don't be too swept away, but that's how you end up pregnant. But it's gonna feel like a good time. So July feels like the time where you feel a little carefree. You feel, it's gonna be a fun time. So look out for that. And then come August, you're gonna feel the blues. I feel like, it's the opposite of the Five of Cups. It's in reverse. So you are going to be contemplative, but it's not going to be necessarily sad. You're going to feel, you're going to be a little in the I don't know why I keep feeling like this is the hermit mode, where you're going into yourself and contemplating and seeing what you really want to do, because you're taking a step back and deciding where you want to take your things. So August is going to be, maybe this is where you're deciding when to go to, if you want to go to school, if you're, something you've been wanting to do. So this is something that you will definitely see. I mean, this is something you can look into. August is going to be that time. It's going to be contemplative. It's not going to be sad. I don't know. It's not sad at all. But it does. I mean, I think it has like some undertones of sadness to it. But it's going to be, it's going to be a little, it's not party mode or it's not sad. It's just, it's just normal everyday life where you're thinking and trying to do. So whenever temperance comes in opposite, I feel like you've stagnated. So September feels a little stagnant. You feel like you've been, manifesting, you've been putting in all this work, but nothing's really coming off it. And also another thing, you feel like you've come to feel that what you're doing currently, and I think like in work situations, or maybe even like love situations, this is not fulfilling for you anymore. This is not doing it for you. So I think this is where you're like sitting down and thinking, August and September, where you're like, is this what I want to do? And in October, you're gonna walk away from something. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something that there is something that you've given your fullest. Maybe it's a job, maybe you've given your fullest, but you're not gonna grow from there, and this is all you can give to this job. So you're gonna move on, you're gonna start fresh. And maybe this is also a relationship. Maybe you were in a relationship and you meet somebody new and you sit down, and maybe this is not falling in love or anything, but you kind of meet somebody new and you're like, oh, I like them. And then you kind of look back at your whatever relationship you're in, and then you decide that it's not for you. It's a fresh start. You need to start new. So this new person who's probably coming in is something you want to walk towards and leave whatever is behind. Okay, or maybe you're finally moving on from that ex that you had and something like that. But I think for some of us, it's a job situation where you're leaving a job which doesn't really help you grow anymore. And for some others, it's an ex. You're either releasing an ex because you met somebody new who seems right. And for the others, you're probably with someone when you meet this person and you realize this is what you want, the other world, and then you walk away from the old person because they're not serving you anymore, and neither are you serving them. So in November, I see fresh starts, a lot of swords energy, and I see a fresh start. I see you coming out victorious in certain ways. It's going to be a good time, you're going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel happy that you walked away from certain things. You're going to feel accomplished in areas of your life, and it's going to feel like an overall new beginning in November 2020. And come December, you're going to feel very, very fulfilled. This is Queen of Pentacles. Look at her. She's looking at her coin. She's happy with what she's created. She sits pretty, she's happy, and I think so will you. If whoever is watching this, I think it's going to be a good completion where you've been through a lot, but whatever decisions you made help you become more stable financially. You're going to find probably a new job here in November, and it's going to be better, or even if it's not better, it's more fulfilling than ever. So a good time. It's a completion. So now we look at a few messages that we need to see. So one is a change in the wind. The other one is exchanging gifts. That's sweet. And then there's blessed. And all that glitters. So I think one that says a change in the wind. There's obviously a lot of changes coming in 2020. You're consciously this is not something that's just happening to you. These are very conscious decisions that you're making. You are changing your own wind, if that's a thing. And exchanging gifts. And I think exchanging gifts comes in where you're sharing what you have with people in terms of whatever your talents or anything of that sort. And you are receiving something in return to that. So exchanging gifts. That doesn't necessarily have to be, birthday presents or any presents. It's just what you have to offer to the world. And people are offering you something in return. I don't know what it is. And all that glitters tells me that you probably were in a dead-end job because it was well-paying, but it was really not fulfilling. You probably were there breaking your back and not really receiving any appreciation in return. And, you were working for a job that would replace you the minute you stop working for them, So you're finally realizing that everything that glitters is not gold, and you are walking towards something that really fulfills you. You're exchanging gifts with people. You're seeing that everybody has something to offer, and so do you. So you see that, and blessed is something I see is you owning this. I think you're realizing that you're blessed. And I think this is something coming from the spirit that you are blessed. Anything that is happening in this year, it's meant to happen. And don't worry, because angels are watching over you. You're not just here, floating in the universe with no purpose at all. Stuff happening, and it's for a reason, and you're going the right way. I think the last one is the ever-unfolding rose, cracked open. It is happening for you and not to you. How fitting. How fitting. It's happening for you and not to you. So everything that you go through in this month is for the best. Okay, so don't take it as something that somebody's attacking you or something like that. This is for the best. So I hope you like this reading. This is all I'm getting. So if you liked it, if the message resonated, definitely let me know in the comments below. And if it doesn't, let it slide. Maybe it wasn't for you. But if it does, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, maybe share with your friends and family. I don't know. Whatever you like to do, man. Whatever you like to do. But let me know in the comments. It really helps me out. Okay? And I hope you have a great 2020. Because I think it's going to be a good year. I mean, it's 2020. It can't be bad. It's going to be a good year. There's going to be a lot of shifts happening. So I hope you have a good time in 2020. Alright. Group number 2. I said group number 2. If you selected group number 2, this reading is for you. So how this reading is going to work is I have 12 tarot cards for representing each month of the year 2020, and we're going to go through with it, and we're going to see how this year is going to pan out for you. And if you selected this, take a deep breath. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be all fine. And don't worry about anything, because I don't know why I'm getting this thing. Why I have to tell you this, but things work out. Sometimes it feels like you're going into the ditch, but that ditch ends up being a pool, and you end up swimming and having fun. Okay, so don't worry about it. I don't know what that message was. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, group number 2. So, what I'm seeing for you. So, okay, again over here, I'm going to tell you that the first 4 months, January, February, March, and April, are kind of like the hangover months. Like something that you're taking from 2019 and you're resolving stuff, and you're not fully into 2020 2020. You end up writing 2019 instead of 2020 for the first 4 months anyway. So this is kind of like that, but in your life. So I'm going to start out with that. And in the beginning, I see 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay. So from that, I see that, some things have been, affecting you, but you're not letting it show. I don't know what it is, but in January, you're gonna feel the blow of things, and you're probably gonna sit silent. You're not gonna let people know that something has been bothering you for maybe the entire previous year, but something has definitely been bothering you. And I think in January you're going to deal with it. And if it's something from 2019, I think you should remember that whatever it is, it's okay to leave it behind. And in February, there's a judge, it comes forward with judgment card. So I think in January, you've dealt with everything that, whatever the situation was, you've dealt with it. And in February, you're going to take a stand. You're going to decide whether it's you taking a stand or just your circumstances deciding that this is, the right thing to do. But I think it's you've completely processed everything that's happening in like whatever hangover, whatever emotional problems or anything emotional, or even, I think this is emotional. This has to do with something like other people. I don't know why I'm getting this message, but if you were bullied or something like that and you're taking it with you into the new year, I think you're going to sit with it, but in February it's going to come forward, or some deception that happened that you've been sitting quiet on. But in February, things are going to be taken care of. Things are going to be dealt with, and whoever is in the right will come, to the top, and they'll be not rewarded, but, they're going to be given justice in some sort. So, or if somebody has been, cheating in some way, and you've been known, you've known about this situation, but you can't really express it in some way, it's going to come out in February. Some sort of deception is going to be, put out in public, and it's going to be known. So you're going to be free of this guilt of not telling somebody, or this feeling of having to deal with something on your own. And if it's something like bullying, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry you have to deal with it, but it's going to be fine. I really don't know what to say, but February is going to be the month that is going to really put like an end to that. It's going to come forward, and it's going to be fine. And in March, King of Cups. So either it's somebody entering your life with with the King of Cups energy, somebody who's very emotional, somebody who's very supportive, but it could also mean that you are embodying this energy. In March, you feel fulfilled with everything that happened in the past. You're going to, let it slide, and you're going to let your life, get on track, and you're going to embody that energy that you can do whatever you want. Your emotions, you're not a slave to anyone else's emotions. You are in control of your emotions. So this is either you, or this is, for some other people, it's definitely somebody coming in with that sort of energy. And if this is like ending of some traumatic cycle with somebody, relationship, or any situation, I don't know, situationship, that's a thing. Maybe you're gonna meet somebody, and maybe they're gonna make you after spending time with them, maybe you'll realize that whatever you had in the past, for some of you, you'll realize that wasn't it. That wasn't the 10 of Cups energy. That wasn't it. Or you're gonna feel like, or if none of this is true, if you're meeting somebody new, this is your energy in March, I think you're going to feel in April that something's missing. you feel happy, but you're not completely there yet. You're not completely fulfilled, and there are certain things you want from life. And I think April will be that time where certain events happen and you realize what you truly want from your life. So I think that's gonna come forward. And then in May, it's some sort of celebration. Either somebody's getting married, you're gonna be attending a wedding, or you're getting married. I don't know. Something's happening. It's a celebration. It's you're gonna be attending a wedding, or you're gonna be I think you're gonna be attending a wedding. I'm not getting like you're gonna get married, but maybe for some of you that's true. Maybe you are getting married, but you're definitely attending a celebration. Maybe if not anything, maybe a party of some sort, but a big opulent party, like, oh, this is fancy. So one of those situations are gonna happen. So May is gonna be a time where you're gonna go out, and it's gonna be a time of celebration. Either it's gonna be one of these big events happening, or it's in your personal life. You're gonna be celebrating something. Maybe you graduated, or somebody in your life. Ooh, a spider! Get out! Okay, wait. I'm gonna just no, go this way. Okay, I dropped him down. Fuck. Okay, anyway, sorry. So that little one's gone. Where was I? Okay, May is gonna be celebration. You're either attending a wedding, going to go to a big ass party, or you're gonna attend a big event. It's a bar mitzvah or a thread ceremony, or it's gonna be a big celebration, a big birthday party. I don't know, maybe it's your birthday in May. My mom's birthday is in May, so one of those situations. And in June, I don't know why I heard big dick energy. I don't know why I heard it, but either you're gonna get into your big dick energy, or you're definitely going to meet somebody. And I don't see this as, I don't know why, but I'm not seeing this as romantic at all. Maybe for some of you, but somebody who is very authoritative, somebody who knows what they want. So maybe you're going in for a job, or maybe you started school, and you're meeting somebody who has this energy. So watch out in June that you're going to meet somebody. Maybe you're on vacation and you meet somebody of this sort of energy. They're very standoffish. Okay, for some others of you, I feel like these people are very standoffish, but they give off a vibe that they have their shit together. They probably do. And you might learn something from this person. They might be significant for you. So watch out for somebody like with this sort of an energy, where they give off the energy that they know everything, and they kind of do. That's a horrible revelation to have, where you're like, oh, this person acts like they know everything, but kind of they do know a lot of things. So this is probably one of that. So in June, watch out for somebody like that. They might play a big role. And in July, I'm not seeing conflict per se, but I think this is more of an internal conflict for some of you, where you're contemplating what you want from life. Oh, before I go any further, from this, I see that some of you are going to meet this person at this celebration, and in June, you might start going out with them. This sort of person. Maybe some of you, it's not for everyone, but some others of you are just going to meet this person somewhere, and they're going to play a big role in your life. But here there's some internal conflict happening for some of you. You're fighting off something that you don't think you need, but it's going to be an internal conflict. And some others of you, this is going to be a work-related situation where some of your colleagues are going to kind of attack, not like a physical attack, but it's going to be some sort of office politics that's going to take place, and you're going to be in the center of it, and people are going to be not on your side. Okay, so there's going to be some sort of conflict that you're going to be facing. So these are the two options that I'm seeing. And in August, I see you feeling fulfilled, and for some of you, going on vacation. You can see that you have enough of abundance in your place, and you think that it's okay for me to take a break. It's okay for me to enjoy the fruits of my labor. And you're probably going to. And if you're not going on a vacation, it's just you just celebrating your fruits, anything that you've done throughout the year or in your life. You're gonna sit down and take your time and just enjoy whatever you've created. In September, however, I see things just feeling a little dull. You've done all of this. You feel satisfied, but you still feel like something's missing. So in September, you might feel a little bit of lack. You might feel a little bit, you might feel a little bit of darkness that you don't know how to deal with. And I think it's gonna be a very, I don't know why, again, I feel like it's gonna be a hermit stage where you're just gonna sit down with yourself, and maybe you won't feel very happy about everything in your life, and that's okay, because not every day of your waking life you're gonna feel, yeah, this is it, this is my life, this is amazing. Some days you're just gonna feel like, whatever, all right. And I think in this rut of, maybe you feel like you're not having enough people in your life, or you don't have, a significant other, or you don't have a certain job you want. So I think this is the time where you're just complaining to yourself about things you don't have. And I've been there. Sometimes it's annoying. Most times it's annoying, but sometimes it's good to let out what you want and what you don't want, In October, I think there's going to be some sort of offer coming your way. I don't know. It can be a romantic offer or a job-related offer. But I think it's some sort of offer which you're not looking at it. You are so lost in moping about certain things that when life is offering you something, you're just missing it. So October, watch out. If your attitude has been about complaining and not being, happy with what you have and grateful about everything that you have, you might miss out on something that's, life has been offering you. So in November, watch out. Don't mope around too much, and keep your eye open for something being offered to you. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a love situation, but something is being offered to you in October. And in November, it ends with 2 major arcana, so it's going to be a powerful ending to this year for you. So the Fool, I think in November you're going to decide that maybe you've been too rigid. You've been going a way that, you've decided this is your schedule of your life, and you've been going that way. But in November, you sort of decide that, no, I'm going to go with the flow. Whether it's a job-related thing where you've always had your life structured a certain way, go to school, go to like a certain school, then go to another school that you'd already decided when you were 4, and then you went to it, and then your whole life you've kind of been, people had set it out for you, or you set it out for yourself, and you never really went with the flow. So maybe in November you're going to decide that this is what you're going to do. And for some others of you, it's going to be a situation of love where you're like, this is what I want. This is what I want in a person, and this is the exact mold of a person that I want. Maybe you're going to set yourself free of that. Maybe something that's been offered to you, you see it and you're like, this is something I've never considered, but I would like to do it. So in November, you're kind of gonna go with the flow. You're gonna see what this life has to offer to you, and you might just go with it. and it ends with the Chariot. So whatever you're going with the full force. Okay, you're going with your entire army. So whatever it is, you're gonna definitely go with your full army. Okay, it's going to go very well. The ending is gonna end with, the end of 2020 is gonna end with a bang. And you've sort of, in your going with the flow, you've decided what you really want to do. And it's going to end with that. And you're going to kind of march towards your dreams in a way. Okay, so let's see what messages you have. TikTok. Chop wood. Truth be told. Orphaned. So TikTok, in a way, tells me that you feel like you've spent too much time scheduling your life and not really living it. So you're telling the truth to yourself, because all this time you'd been not being true to yourself. You'd been just doing all the work. You'd been doing all the work you really didn't want to do. And in that, it had left you orphaned. And I think orphaned in here doesn't mean the actual meaning of orphan, but I think you felt like you'd severed your relationship with yourself. You kind of abandoned your true self. So this feeling of orphaned, I think, comes here from the sun, where you just feel just dismal. But then you kind of start saying the truth to yourself, and you realize everything you ever wanted has always been within you. All this energy, all of this love and affection that you need is all within you. So truth be told, so this TikToking is not working. Now this TikToking is working in a better way for you. You're going to see that time is running out, but then I'm going to start doing what I really like. So I'm going to chop wood, but I'm going to chop it because I want to, not because somebody's telling me to. So you're going to take control of your life, and you're not going to leave yourself orphaned. So Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? So this is the overarching theme of 2020 for you. Pile number 2. It's a good year. You're taking into account that you can be the pilot of your own life. You can steer your life wherever you want. You don't have to be a slave, and you definitely don't have to abandon the child in you. You can do whatever you want. I recently read a quote somewhere that, sometimes finding yourself is just going back to whatever you loved doing as a kid. So if that is something that really pushes you and makes you feel happy, do it, because time hasn't really run out for you yet. You just think that it's running out so quickly that you can do things. But if you just take your time to do things you really love, this time won't matter. Won't matter if you have 5 minutes left, or 5 hours left, or 5 lifetimes left. If you do what you love, it really won't matter. And you have to really step up. Please remember this. How are you being called up to step up and lead? Because this is your life. You're your own leader. No one can tell you what to do. So, is it focusing? It's not focusing. Anyway, so this is group number 2. This is a reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it, and if this resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. Subscribe to my channel, and if this, if it really if really resonated, let me know, because it really helps me out. I love hearing from people that they resonate with certain messages, or help open up certain gateways for them. Because see, whatever I do here it's universe take the wheel. I just give you a little pull of the thread from the universe, and you have to figure it out. But if I can be that medium, it's the best thing ever. So if you resonated, please let me know in the comments. And do subscribe, and if you want, share this video with your friends and family. That's all I ask. Okay. 3. Group number 3. Hello. So if you're the one who selected group number 3, pile number 3, this is going to be a reading. So how this reading is going to go is that I have 12 tarot cards representing each month of 2020. and we're gonna figure out how this year is gonna map out for you. And take a deep breath. If the messages resonate with you, it's for you, and if they don't, it's probably for someone else. But maybe listen to it intently. Maybe you'll hear something and it'll stir something up in you, because that's all I do here, you know. I send out a little message from the universe, and you have to take it however you want, because that's how the universe works. It only gives you what you have to see. A butterfly flying by won't be a message for everyone. It's probably for you. So this, because landing on a video is, on YouTube, that too, and today's fabric, it's really not a coincidence. You probably had to see it, okay? So pile number 3. So let's start out. So let me tell you, first of all, before I begin, the first 4 months, January, February, March, and April, are kind of the hangover months from your previous year, that's 2019. So it kind of, it's about resolution of whatever happened in 2019, and then beginning with 2020. So it's a little bit of whatever's pent up from 2019 will come out in 2020. So it's kind of like, I said this to other groups too, but it's kind of like you're writing 2019 instead of 2020, because for the first 4 months you end up doing that anyway. So it's kind of like that. And I think it's going to be a good year. Don't worry about that. So in January, it starts with death. Okay, and don't be alarmed. Death is not a scary card at all. And for me, I think for you guys, it's going to be a definite new beginning. You're going to see an instant shift, and I think you're going to be embodying that energy too from 2019 to 2020. You know this is a good new time. Maybe 2019 wasn't a good year for you, and you're definitely seeing it as a new beginning, because in the death card you see there's this skeleton, in armor. There's death all around, but then there's a dawning of a new day. So that is what death represents. It represents new beginnings. It's, you finishing this really not a good time, but you're finishing that time, that period, and starting new. So you're definitely starting a new cycle. So 2020 is definitely a new year. You know that Death Cab for Cutie song that, this is a new year and I don't feel any different. The clanking of crystals. You know that song. If you don't know, I'll put it in the description. But that song, it happens, a new year starts and you don't feel any different at all. But this year, you're definitely going to feel it. You're going to feel like, yes, I've lived through that hellhole that was 2019, but 2020 is going to be different. And it is. And in February, we see 3 of Cups. And I don't know why, but it comes to me as a celebration of some sort. I don't know what is there in February. Are you attending a wedding? Is there a wedding? Are you getting married? Is there a baby shower? I don't know. There's something of that sort. Or there's a new baby coming in. I don't know why. There's really no reason for me to think that. But there is definitely something happening where you're celebrating, and for some others of you, it's probably something that was a group effort that has paid off, and you're getting, the fruits of that in February. So look out for something in February. You're going to celebrate something, okay? And in March, it's the High Priestess energy. So yeah, for some of you, you're going to get into spirituality. This is going to be the time where you start meditating. For some of you, you're going to have spiritual experiences. But this is going to be the month where you begin. For others of you, you've probably already, been in your High Priestess energy. This is, the highest frequency that you've been vibrating at, and in March you're gonna really feel it. You're gonna really feel like this is your year. And for some of you, you're gonna meet somebody with this energy, is what I'm seeing, or somebody who has this energy is gonna play a big role in your life. So look out for somebody in March who is really sure of themselves and who have really mastered their spiritual life in a way, who know what they're doing. So look out for that. In April, I feel like something from 2019 is coming back to haunt you in a way, and you feel like you can't really do anything about it. But I think you're going to deal with it in April. You're going to feel like whatever was in 2019 has come back. Although, I'm channeling this new energy. Why is this happening to me in April? You're really going to feel that. But don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But I think you're supposed to deal with it. I think if it's coming back, I think, you know that quote that life throws you experiences, unless you learn from them, they keep coming back. I'm sorry. There's one mosquito here. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so you have to deal with something over here, because if it's come back, you probably have to deal with it. Okay, and May shows me that you're gonna do some real practical changes in your life. It's gonna be a very practical year. Maybe whatever you had to deal with in April, you do deal with it in May. Like whatever you're experiencing here, you deal with it, and you're not just gonna sit down and think about, oh, it's gonna all work out. No, you make it work out in May. Whatever it is you want to do, you go for it. Whether it's a job that you've been wanting to do, maybe it's something that it's creating art that you've been putting it on the back burner. Wow, putting it on the back burner, but you've not been doing it. But I think in May you're really gonna go ahead and step up, and you're gonna do it. You're gonna make sure whatever your dreams are, you're gonna start making them come true. And in June, you're going to see results. I think you've been working towards them, but nothing's really coming off it. And you're like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? I just feel like it's going nowhere. But you really step up here, you put on your big daddy shoes, whatever that means. But you start doing things without thinking about the rewards. And then in June, you're rewarded. You're the star. Maybe it's something you do on the internet, or it's at work. You've been putting in all of this effort, and finally pays off. You're finally seen as that person you always want to be seen as. Okay, so that is happening over here. And with the Knight of Wands energy in reverse, I feel like there is this love interest lurking. Okay, they're not coming in fast, they're lurking. And I don't know why I have this feeling it's an ex. And this is for some people. For some other people, I think this is like some sort of job situation that, something at work that's lurking in the back, which is not presenting itself, but something's lurking in the back for you in July. So be aware of that. And the Hierophant in reverse feels like whoever this lurking in the back is not a very, powerful energy. They're very like, what do you call them? Somebody who really doesn't own their power. They just, access power sucking it out of other people. They don't really have much to offer. And somebody like this might be playing a role in August. Okay, so beware of somebody like this, like an energy vampire. Yeah, that's the word. Somebody is going to be there, and this is going to be the last straw for you. Okay, this is going to be like, oh my God, I cannot deal with it. And I think in October that is what is going to happen. I think the Tower moment over here is you've been dealing with something and it explodes out of nowhere. You're like, oh my God, I cannot take this. I cannot believe this is happening. You don't want somebody to leave, but they leave. There's this job that is happening that was, somebody that was lurking in the back. Snitch, I don't know, something happens at work or in your love life and it all goes haywire. And I think for a lot of you it's job, because after that there is in October there is 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which I'll come to, but in September something big is gonna happen, and at first it might feel like the worst thing ever, and I think for some time, and in November too, you're gonna feel like you've lost a lot. And I think this is a job situation. Something is gonna go completely wrong and you're gonna feel like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm not financially stable right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but don't worry about it. Live through these months, because November is gonna be a new start. And I think this has been a theme for all the other two piles. November has always had this hopeful feeling for everyone. It's a new start. It's always been aces. All of them have been aces. So November is going to be a new start. Life is going to present to you, and you're going to heal. I mean, obviously you're not healed from this, but it's going to be a new beginning. If it's whatever you've been feeling here, whatever ended, it's a good thing. It's going to present itself, and you're going to realize that it's a good thing. So this Ace of Wands that's coming in is definitely talking about that. November is going to be a new beginning in that sector. So is December. Ace of Pentacles. I think you're going to start a new job. I think you're going to be self-employed after whatever happened over here. You're going to start your own job. And if it's a relationship situation, something is going to be presented to you in November, and in December you're going to take it. You're going to be like, yeah, I deserve something better. So these are the themes I see. So let's see a few messages. Thinker, why, never-ending story, and fork in the road. So I think with the never-ending story, it comes back to this pile for this card from April. Something that you feel like you've been dealing with the same thing over and over and over again, and you really start to question why, and you've been thinking about it. And I think this whole year is all about questioning, why are these certain things happening to me? Why do they keep happening to me again? And then you question it, you think about it, and you realize that it's happening because the universe has been giving you the same situations because you've just not been dealing with it. You cannot deal with situations that you just do not acknowledge. You just cannot be sitting there pretty and think that it'll work itself out. No, you have to, so if you have a certain bruise on your body, you can't just leave it. It can be just a bruise, or it can be something else. It can be something in relation to a stroke. I don't know. A lot of things happen, and a lot of bad things have happened, so you need to really pay attention. And so this fork in the road is definitely this tower moment that is happening. But you see, the fork in the road is only something that presents you with certain other directions to take in life. One direction might have been shut down, but you see, there are so many other ways this llama guy can... What is it? Is it a llama? I don't know. This animal can go, and there's an owl on it, so you're wise. You have your own little mind, and you have your own spirit guides, and they're all gonna help you out. So this fork in the road is not the end of the road. It's just a fork in the road, even if over here it might feel like the end of the world. It's just a fork in the road. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Doesn't this look like the high priestess? Really taking in charge, huh? So this is your 2020 pile number 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. So whatever it is, you're going to deal with it, because you can do it. You can think, you can make your own decisions. Nothing can stop you because life doesn't stop. Life finds a way. Which movie was it? I don't remember. It's some movie. They say it. So if you resonated with this, please let me know in the comments, because it really helps me out. Because I think what helps me is to know that the readings I do have really resonated with people. So if you do resonate with it, let me know in the comments. And even if the whole reading hasn't resonated, but some part of it has, let me know, because this is what I do. I can only give you a certain snippet of what the universe wants you to see, and if you see it, you've got the message. And I've had my time as a medium, so I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe. Group number 4. So this group was originally not gonna happen, but the cards decided to jump out, and I was directed to do another pick a card. Oh god, I moved the camera a little. So how this is gonna work is there are 12 tarot cards for each, representing each month, and this one's for you, the special group. I mean, everyone's special, but you guys were not planned. Wow, that doesn't make it feel anybody good. So, group number 4. So this is your reading. So you start out with the Emperor. So you're starting out with pretty strong energy. This is a major arcana card, so you're definitely starting out with a strong sense of like you know what you're gonna do this year. I feel like in January, and I mean, I said this to everybody, but I don't see this theme of you guys having a hangover from 2019. I feel like you've sort of resolved everything that had to be resolved in 2019, and you've left it. And in 2020, you've entered with this energy of knowing. You know what you want to do for this year. You know what is to be done, and in that energy you're embodying that. And in January you start work. You just are doing what you need to do. And so I think Jan has that feel to it. Page of Wands, I feel like this is either you presenting to the world something that you've created and been working on all of 2019, or somebody's presenting you with something. Either, okay, for some of you, this is you presenting your work to the people, and for some others of you, in February, I see that somebody is going to offer something to you. Maybe that's emotional, that's love related or work related. Somebody's going to offer something to you, okay? And if I think for some of you it's that, but okay, for those who presented something to the world in February that they've been working so hard on, in March you're gonna see it pay off. Okay, it's gonna be an emotional satisfaction, and it's gonna be something that you feel like, finally, I've been working so hard, and you feel so fulfilled. For others who are being presented with a love interest, in March you see that this person is wonderful. Whatever they presented to you, you feel wonderful with them. And there's a overarching theme of emotional satisfaction in March. Okay, in April there is a theme of indecisive, feeling very indecisive. Indecisive. In April there is a theme of feeling very, very indecisive. Okay, it's like you wanna, there are certain things that you want to take a decision on, and you're presented with certain things, but you're just not being, and although when this means that you're presented with two options, and then you have to make one decision, but you are gonna blindly take that decision. Here you're weighing out the pros and cons. When it's in reverse, I think you're really weighing out the pros and cons, and you're gonna take that decision, whatever the decision is. There's some decision you have to make in April. I don't know what it is, but you're gonna do it. And with the Seven of Swords in reverse, I feel like there's some sort of, with it in, if it was upright, it was something related to trickery. But I think in reverse, for some of you, it's that whatever you're doing the right thing. I don't know what decision you made here, but it's paying off. It's presenting itself as something, as the right thing to do. And in May, I feel like these 2 months are pretty chill, but you're gonna take certain decisions that you really have to take a proper decision, and I think it's going to be a good decision. So in May, you're going to see that whatever decision you made was for the best, and it's going to be out in the open to everyone. It's not this secretive, like something slyly. This is like this thing that you openly put out, and you're like, this is what I want to do with my life, and you do it. Maybe for some of you, y'all have been contemplating to come out to people, and and you finally do it, and you realize that it was so much better than not telling people and going behind people's back, because this is who you are and you're embracing it. And I think this another month of, and I think over here you're realizing that all this time that you spent sitting on this decision was such a waste of time, because you could have done so much. You could have done so much with that time. So I think in June, you're realizing that all this time you wasted, you can take it back. You can do everything you wanted to do, and you do it in June. So June, I think, is a time of just, it's contemplation, but it's also working while contemplating. It's not just sitting down. It's not hermit mode at all. Okay? So in July, I see strength for you guys. Okay? And strength, in a way, I feel like is, you're feeling the power. I think the decision you've made, July, you really see yourself stepping into your power and really, saying and letting the world know that this is who you are, and it doesn't matter if people think you're weird or anybody around you is not that accepting, but you stand your ground and you say, this is it, and even if sometimes it can also be that you had to choose between somebody that the world doesn't see as that you should be with, but then you do choose them. And then I think here in July, you're like, you know what? These are my decisions and I'm taking them. This is what I want to do. And I think July is just you standing your ground in every way, shape, or form and just taking it. Okay? And Knight of Pentacles, I feel like here you're working behind the scenes. It's not some ostentatious display of, oh my God, look at the amount of work I'm doing. Look at me grinding. But I think you are really stepping into your power and working. This August is just you working behind the scenes, and it's generating money, but very slowly. It's not like fast money, but it's you working. And I think in September, you really feel some feelings of lack. You feel like, I've been working so hard, but why is the money, the money aspect of it coming in slow? Why is this happening? And I think that is where you kind of feel like, oh, where have I gone wrong? And in October, I think you really step into your power. You're like, I've worked, and I know that whatever is set to come to my way is gonna come to my way, and you're not gonna be sad about it. You're not gonna be sad about your past. You're gonna be stepping into your power and saying, whatever my past has been, I own it, and I learn from it, and I work towards it. So I think the middle is just from June to October is going to be a time where it's going to be a manic period. Sometimes you're going to be really sad. Some days you're going to be really happy. But I think for the most part, you're working towards something. You're going to feel down at times, And if you're an artist, I think this happens a lot where you're like, I'm putting in all this work, But am I even good enough? And these feelings are going to creep in, but you're going to swiftly, swap them out. I'm going to be like, no, I'm working and I will do this. And with November, I see Queen of Cups. And I see that whatever's been through this year, you kind of reflect on it and you see, you know what? My cup has always been full. I just have not been seeing it, and I think with all the work that you put in very consciously, and with you owning your power in January, you really sit down and see that you've accomplished a lot, and you've given up certain things and you've decided that, this is your path you want to take, and you do take it. And that's how November is going to work for you. And in December, it ends with Two of Pentacles in reverse. So money is coming in, and it's not something that you have to juggle for, it's not something that you have to put up, it's not something that you have to hold on to. I can't really put it into words. How do I want to? It's not, it's not a juggling act. You have money, you have abundance, and you don't have to really, how do I say it? I think in December you realize that everything you worked for has really paid off. You're in a comfortable place, is what I'm trying to say. You are, in November, you're obviously fulfilled. You see that everything that you've done, your cup is full. Look at this cup. I don't know if you can see the cup, but the cup is full, okay? And in December, whatever abundance you've accumulated, you don't have to, I can't really put it into words. How do I say it? You worked hard for something and you deserve it, and you don't have to, it's good money, but it's not like dirty money. I don't know how to say it, but I think for those who it resonates, it's whatever means you've received abundance, you feel proud of it. You're proud of what you have. It might not be the most you've accumulated in your life, or you might ever accumulate, but you're happy and you're sitting pretty and you're comfortable. And it's been a good year. So for the messages, it says, imagine to the sea, not for you. See over here, not for you. And serendipity. See, I think, and for the first thing I'd start with is not for you. So here you realize what is not for you and you let go of it. So this year is gonna be, you're probably gonna see it in like a fortune cookie, or you're gonna read something somewhere and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's not for me. I'm gonna step into my power. And you go onto your own journey. This is somebody who's taking the lead. They decide that, whatever's in the past, they're not looking into the binoculars into the past. They're probably looking at the map to go further ahead. And they are off into the sea. And this is going to be you. You're going to take a path and you're going to go onto it. It might feel, a little difficult. But then this is the life you've always imagined. In time, you do realize this. And here, I think the serendipity really sits with this Queen of Cups, where you look down at the cup and you realize everything that's happened has led you to this moment alone, and this was all for a good reason. Things are not just happening, they're happening for the right reasons, and in a way sometimes it's all by the book. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Okay, this is your overarching energy for this year. So it's going to be a good year. A lot of changes, a lot of decisions to make. And in the end, you're going to come out sitting pretty. You're going to feel emotionally fulfilled. You're going to feel like you're doing well in life, somewhere you never thought you'd probably be. And you finally don't have to juggle. You don't have to save up to get something. You can just get something because you have the money. So if this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. And if it didn't, it's okay. It's probably wasn't for you. And I mean, even if the whole reading doesn't resonate, I say it again, maybe something in the reading hit, something, lit something within you. And if that happened, let me know in the comments, because that is my job. This is universe take the wheel. I just am a medium. This is what I do. Whatever the universe sort of lets me to tell you, you hear it. And if it helps you, I don't think there's anything more that I could ask for. So let me know in the comments and subscribe. So hopefully all of you have like a good year. So before I end it, I'm going to get out like another card for an overall theme for this channel. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, 2 cards. Keepers of the earth. You're not alone. Ancient ancestors are behind you. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? I don't know. What is my niggling feeling trying to tell you? They told me to start this channel. I started it. It's keepers of the earth. My ancestors are behind me. Well, they are. So this is theme for this channel. Okay. I'll see you next time.